Shalom to you, so welcome back to today's video, and in this video we are back once again for the 8th episode or preparation episode of the Galarian Elite Gym Challenge for the Dark Gym and the Nightmare Badge. So let's crack on with today. Now, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you are new. And at the moment I'm going through some changes on Twitch, so I'm not going to mention that, but you can check me out on Twitch as well. But my current schedule due to university is a little bit weird, so I have to address that in the future, and apologies that I haven't addressed that yet, but I will be getting to that. But you can check me out on Twitch when and where available, and obviously you've got my Discord down below, so you can keep up to date with anything that goes on with my brand or anything like that. But we've got this series to finish off, so I haven't done much work on the team this week for the Dark Gym, so we're almost going to have a look at like what Pokemon Connor can bring and what we need to do. Now, luckily, I think we can get away with using similar Pokemon or ones we've used in the past to, in a sense, get through this gym. Now, from the looks of it, we can get away with still keeping in Volcarona, probably the Ferrothorn as well. But we'll have a look at some types today, and then we'll think about who we've used in the past and see if we can bring them in or out. But I don't think we'll need to hunt anything, you know, from where we need to be. So let's go and have a look. Let's go to our Pokemon box here and go and have a look at the Pokemon that could be coming in. So we'll just do a dart and we'll scroll down. So potentially there could be a Galamoltres. So we'll put this tab up here, but it's got a rock weakness, an electric weakness, an ice weakness, and a fairy weakness. So looking at the team we had, Mimikyu would be a really good one to essentially look at, as well as we have, I'm trying to think if we have any electric Pokemon. I think we have an Ice Fang or an Ice Punch on the Rhypheria, along with a potential Rock Mood and Rock Slide or something like that on it as well. It's immune to obviously ground because it's flying, and Psychic as well. But the rest are about 1 times, which is pretty good. Umbreon could come out. Now, looking at the chart here for Dark, that means that Bug, Fairy, and Fighting are its weaknesses. So we've obviously got the Bug Buzz there, Play Rough on Mimikyu, and I don't believe we have any fighting moves, but we could potentially bring back Lucario in some form, maybe, to deal with that. And I'm trying to remember the other Pokemon we used where I had close combat or superpower on it. I think it might be Scizor, so maybe that could be a good one to bring back, because there's no, by the looks of Moltres, still is a 1 times, but we'll obviously have to see going through our list here how we get on with that. Sneasel I can't see, maybe the Tyranitar as well. The Tyranitar might be a good one. I mean, I think you can run it with weakness policy, so there are obviously other ways. I think I've seen it built with leftovers before as well. So it has a 4 times weak to fighting, ground, bug, steel, water, grass, and fairy. The rest are 1 times. It's got a resist. It's completely immune to psychic. So the psychic move on our Volcarona here is going to be a little bit of a yikes. Maybe even if I were to, let's see if I can make another tab for Pokémon Showdown here, because if I can go on to this one, then what we can do is get up, that's my main team. We don't want that, we want gym number 8 here. So the problem is we've got Psyshock. The Moonblast could be really, it could come in a little bit there. Now looking at it, it does have a fairy weakness, so that's okay. However, you've got the Psyshock, which could be a little bit of a yikes. The Energy Ball's kind of good. Yeah, the Rock Slide we've got on the Rhypheria there. So realistically, I think Gardevoir's a really good one to take. Same going with the Mimikyu, and same with the Rhypheria. And I think the Volcarona is still good. I'm gonna have a look to see if there's anything we can take that is either Bug, Fairy, or Fighting on it that we can swap out for moves, and if it's easy enough to do, because if we can do that, then that might give us an extra move that we can take. There is the Giga Drain, which is pretty good. I mean, it looks like it's special, right? So there's the Giga Drain. We could run that. You could run a Heat Wave potentially, but we already have Fire move on it. We don't really... What else have we got? I'm just trying to see if there's any more sort of special moves on this thing. Not really. The rest are all fire, like Fiery Dance or Fire Blast. So it's kind of a nice... There's the Hurricane in flying there, but it has a 70% accuracy, which I'm not overly keen on personally. So there's not much we can do with this, to be fair. Looking at like the usually useless moves here, there's not a lot there either. So I think our only benefit is to see if there's any grass ×2. There's one on the T-Tar here, so maybe we could see how easy it is to get Giga Drain on it and whether it would be worth doing. The same going for our Gardevoir. What other moves can it learn that aren't... So it has Psy Shock, if I can find that. Does it have any other special moves that aren't... It can learn Thunderbolt, which is interesting, and I'm pretty sure Galarian Moltres could do that. We could maybe run that. What was the other? It was Bug, Fairy, and Fighting. So is there any other fairy moves maybe that take fancy? There's the Grass not there. There's a Focus Blast. It could learn Focus Blast, and it is a special move. I didn't know that it could learn Focus Blast. That's pretty interesting. It could learn Dazzling Gleam. That could be interesting. Maybe if we could do Giga Drain on the Volcarona and then have the Focus Blast on the Gardevoir, that would be really good. I'm pretty happy with the Mimikyu. The Gyarados might be a weird one to take, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think. We've got the Power Whipping Grass there, the Leech Seed. The rest of this, I think Ferrothorn's a definite. I think if we change the Psychic over on this to the Giga Drain, I think the Volcarona is really strong. I think the Rhytheria is really strong, especially with leaving Ice Punch on it. The Gyarados is the only one I'm in question of. We'll have a look at more of like the Dark types, I think, and then from there we'll kind of judge whether we bring in Lucario or whether we bring Sizzle back for it. So the next big one that I think could maybe come out, maybe Shiftry, and Shiftry then Sableye, guys, we've got to look at. So it does have the Fighting weakness, a Flying weakness, a Poison weakness, a 4 times to Bug, so that's a bit of a yikes for him. Maybe a Fire, Ice, and Fairy. Yeah, we're looking at Sableye, then Sharpedo. Sableye first. So it's just weak to Fairy. The majority of it, it's a 1 times with immunities to normal, Fighting, and Psychic. So I'm assuming, is it just a Dark type then? No, it's Dark Ghost. That's why. I wondered why, but I thought because it's Ghost, whether the Ghost would be, maybe the Dark cancels that out. The Ghost isn't a ×2. Now this thing could have speed boost, so I wouldn't be surprised if this come out. It's got the Fighting, Bug, Grass, and Electric. So whether that comes out there, I think the Focus Blast would be really good. I'm thinking more based on build. We bring in Lucario now, thinking about it. I'm just trying to think of the rest of my build from that, but I think that because we've got the close combat, it's a nice resistance and everything. I think that might be really good. Where are we here? If we put Thunderbolt for the Psyshock on Gardevoir and then take this guy out and then replace him with the Lucario build that you saw, the Focus Sash build, and then we have a close combat, and then preferably, if I go into this, if I went with Meteor Mash, can he learn anything else? Oh lord, he can learn loads. He's got the Brick Break, he's got a Drain Punch, which could be user recovers 50% of the damage dealt, basically. That might be cool. 75 power. There's quite a lot. I might keep the Meteor Mash in for now, but I'll consider that and maybe change it for something like Brick Break. If he's never used screens before, so I can't see him doing that. Maybe you've got a 80% with Cross Chop there, which is a high critical hit ratio. So if we landed it, we do heavy damage. That might be interesting. Who's next? You have Crawdaunt, maybe. I don't think we saw Crawdaunt. I think we've already seen Weavile in the Ice Gym. Drapion, maybe. Yeah, so we got to do Crawdaunt, then Drapion. I can't see Skunk Tank coming in. Absol, maybe, but that's just a generic disadvantage because it's so dark. So maybe we've got to do Spiritomb would be the same as Sableye, it's just the other way around. So I think we need to look at Crawdaunt, then we need to look at Drapion, then we need to look probably at Crocodile. And I'm trying to think if he bought No, he's already done Crocodile at the ground gym, right? It can't be that. Zoroark could come out again, that's so dark. Maybe a Bishop comes in at Dark Steel. So yeah, so I'll say Crawdaunt we'll look at. Oh no, that's Water Dark, so they're the same as Sharpedo, so we don't need to look at that. I've just clocked that. Drapion is the next one. So Drapion and then Bishop we need to look at. Drapion and Bishop. Let's go and have a look. With a ground ×2 and that's it. Psychic, yeah, we really need to get rid of the Psychic moves and we need to figure some stuff out here. The problem with this is that he's got a Grass half, the rest is kind of okay. I'm not really bothered about it. Then I think, who did I say after that? Yeah, Bishop it was. My brain is like a sieve, honest. Right, okay, Bishop. Now this is Dark Steel, fighting ×4 ground and fire ×2. It's got a lot of, it's got Steel obviously as one of them. Yeah, so I think if we added another fighting move, maybe we might be okay, because there's still, I don't know. It's a hard one to call, depending on what he brings. Vullaby, in Dark Flying. I'm trying to think, because I think, where is he? Yeah, Dark Flying. It's the same as Moltres, Galarian Moltres. We had Hydreigon and Dark Dragon, and I think he made a hint that he could be bringing his own Hydreigon to the fight. So we're looking at Fighting Bug, Ice, Dragon, and Fairy ×4 there for that one. We have I can't see him bringing, he could maybe bring Pangoro just for the fighting type. Because to negate a lot of the damage, plus I don't know how it's built, but to me it looks very tanky. Fighting, Flying, and Fairy ×4. So we've got that. I'm just trying to think. Incineroar could come out. Grimmsnarl. I'm trying to think if he's used that already. We might as well just cover all the bases. So Incineroar and then Grimmsnarl. Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Incineroar. There you are. Then we're going to go down and we're going to see Fighting, Ground, Rock, Water for Incineroar. Fighting, Ground, Rock and Water with half to Steel, half to Grass. Yeah, Fairy ×1. Yeah, I think pretty normal stuff there. And then we had, god, it shows how much like a sieve my brain is. Grimmsnarl. Then we're gonna go down and Poison Steel and Fairy ×2. Everything else in ×1 with immunity to Psychic and Dragon, half to Ghost and a quarter to Dark. Then who else have we got? Obstagoon maybe, more Pico. Obstagoon, more Pico there, and then the rest are really. So basically Obstagoon and more Pico are the last ones we got to do. So Dark and Normal. We've got 4 times weak to Fighting with Bug and Fairy, immunities to Ghost and Psychic. Yeah, so we definitely need to get rid of all the Psychic moves, because we would be at a disadvantage on that. More Pico was the last one we needed to do, which is Electric Dark, I think. I can't remember if we saw this. Fighting, Ground, Bug, Fairy with immunity to Psychic. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with all of those. I definitely think we could be seeing... We can't see a Moltres, actually, because obviously that's a legendary and we're not allowed to do that. Umbreon could come out. T-Tar could come out. We could have a Sableye, maybe a Sharpedo because of the speed boost in HA. Crawdaunt, maybe, because that can be quite strong. I don't think we'll see Crocodile because I'm pretty sure it was using the ground gym. Zoroark is one of his favorite Pokemon, so I think we could see that. Maybe a Bishop. I'm pretty sure he dropped the hint of a Hydreigon as well. Maybe an Incineroar because that has been used in the VGC quite a lot and is very strong. Maybe a Grimmsnarl as well, but I don't think of anything else either than that, to be fair. So looking at the team that we've got now, I'm pretty confident in that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this over to our Gym 8 team and import this guy into the team. So it's now this. So we have physical, some specials there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the spread for that because he's physical for a physical, so that should be fine. Now, what we need to suggest is the changes to everything. So I'm going to pick, because it's a psychic move and we can change it, I'm going to put Giga Drain in for the psychic for now, for that, because that's the only real decent move. Plus there are some grass ×2s just to cover that when we can't bring in Ferrothorn, because he's kind of our setup with the Stealth Rocks. In terms of you, now Meteor Mash, there are some Steel ×1s. So I'm thinking of playing it a bit risky. I might go with Drain Punch because I don't see him using screens. I think Cross Chop is a little bit risky because even though it's 100 power, it's got 80% accuracy. It's almost a bit like Stone Edge, and I'm not a big fan of Stone Edge myself because I hate the accuracy on it. It's really horrible. It's a great move, great power, but I don't really like it, so I'm not really that keen. So I think I'm going to change Meteor Mash for Drain Punch if it's doable. Obviously I'll have a look at that today and change it just before the fight. I'm pretty happy with the Mimikyu. Now the only other one we really need to change, I'm pretty happy with having the Ice Punch on there still for the Rhytheria. Does it know any fighting moves? It does know Body Press, and it knows Brick Break as well. And I want the Rock Slide in there. I think I'm okay with what I've got on the Rhytheria there. So I think the only thing we need to do, I'm having a look at the moves from my own knowledge, and I don't believe we have an electric move on there, and there were a couple of electric ×2s that I wanted to cover. So, and obviously we have the Moonblast, which is very strong, and I really like this. 30% chance to lower the target special attack by 1 stage. So I'm quite happy with that. So honestly, and I know it's annoying to get because it's a TR, but I'm willing to put the time in to try and get the Thunderbolt. So we have that spread, and there's no psychic abilities from my knowledge on this team now, so I'm pretty happy with the spread. We also have the Energy Ball on the Gardevoir anyway, so we have 3 grass moves there, but at least we don't have any psychic ones that basically have immunities to the dark section, so I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go ahead and validate the team. We have a Focus Slash, a Life Orb, a Choice Scarf, a Leftovers, a Heavy Duty Boost, and another Leftovers. So we've got 2 Leftovers, which is completely legal for the series. And what we'll do now is we'll do some fights. So let's go to OU and select GE Team 8 here, and we've got time for maybe 1 or 2 battles, and then I will have to end the video. So let's get going. Just going to turn it down a little bit for me. Now, what should we lead? He's got a Como, a Crocodile, a Grimmsnarl, an Urshifu, a Rotom Wash, and a Regieleki. That's a very good team. I think we'll lead with Lucario. Crocodile comes in. Now, I'm going to suggest we Drain Punch, because I don't know what he had. We will Swords Dance. I'm immune to the Toxic, which is pretty good. And the Close Combat comes out, and that does lower my defense and special defense, but we have Swords Dance once. So we'll have to see. He has a Grimmsnarl in there. The Rotom Wash is going to come out here. And I'm going to Close Combat it again. And he goes down. Which is pretty cool. Which is really nice. So what's he going to bring out now? I don't think he'll bring out the Grimmsnarl. I can't see him bringing out the Grimmsnarl at this point. The Como, the Regieleki is going to come out. I've still got 6 of 8, so Thunder Cage, Sash takes me down to 1 with the Thunder Cage, Sash as well. So my Lucario will go down, but it's done me well. So I'm just trying to think. It's an electric type, so we could go into Rhytheria here It doesn't take that much damage. And I'm going to Sword Stance. And that was a good choice by me. Nice shiny Grimmsnarl there. And I'm going to go in with Ice Punch here. He is frozen. And we're going to EQ either way. There we go. And that goes down. We've had a good fight so far. 3 for 1. Really good. The Como comes in here. And sorry for the notifications from thingy, by the way. It's really annoying. So we'll Ice Punch here. And it's super effective. I don't think this guy really knows his typings. And he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. He's going to Substitute. And he's not really in that good of a spot. He's just substituting, which I can just keep going and going and going because I've got 24 of these things. So if he wants to do that, then he does that. But I can Drain Punch him back or Ice Punch him back and just get the dub. So Rhytheria's coming really strong here. I really like the build and keeping it the same for that. And he's going to forfeit there as well. We'll just put a GG in even if he leaves, because we are respectable like that. And last but not least, we're going to do one more battle looking at the time of the recording. So we're going to do that here as well. There we go. Right. So what we got? A Mew, a Rillaboom, a Kyurem, a Registeel, a Pelipper, and so yeah, we'll go in with Lucario again. And they've got a shiny Mew coming in. And we're gonna Sword Stance here. Because I've just remembered it's a Psychic type. So we'll get that Sword Stance off. Will-O-Wisp will come in. And we will now Drain Punch. And he's immune to... Okay. So we're now in a little bit of a tricky position here. So let's go into our Psychic type here. Cosmic Power again. So he's making a bulky Mew here. And let's go in with Energy Ball. And I'm trying to think of what this thing is. Psychic. It's only a Psychic type. Bug, Dark, and Ghost. And I had Shadow Ball. Great. Right, we'll go into you. Okay. He's just literally making a... He has stored power on this thing. Okay. Well, we know... We'll bring you in. We'll go in with the, let's have a look. Shadow Claw, maybe. There we go. And we'll go in with the Shadow Claw again. Damn, this guy's bulky now. There we go. And our disguise is broken with a little bit of a burn there. And we'll do a Shadow Sneak, which doesn't do any damage. And there goes our disguise on that way. Bug, Dark, and Ghost. Okay. Okay. If we lose this Pokemon, I might forfeit it. But I'm happy with, nonetheless, with how the team's performed. I just made bad choices to let him go. Yeah, I'm gonna just forfeit and leave. But I think that's where we'll leave that episode, but I'm happy with that. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you are new, and obviously you can check me out on Twitch, but those will come along the new schedule. I made a new schedule due to uni, but because of the workload that I've been given, like I made it based on my like timetable, but I never thought about the workload. Whereas when I've started my first couple of weeks, I realized the workload that I've got to get done. So I'm taking almost a little bit of time off, but I'm trying to work out if I can fit streams in here and there. But yeah, so you can check me out on Twitch, but obviously at the moment I'm not really going to say too much, because obviously at the moment I don't really know what's going on. But I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless, and I look forward to the Dark Gym. Take care, Chiefs. Peace. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.